It was Saul Alvarez with a TKO over Billy Joe Saunders. Let's talk about it. All right, fight fans. It is Cinco de Mayo weekend, and you know what that means? That means that it was Saul Canelo Alvarez time. The fight just finished. He just TKO'd Billy Joe Saunders. I'm just finishing up listening to the interview right now in the background. Let's jump right into the pros and the cons of this fight. Let me start with Alvarez first. The pros would be Alvarez was very poised in there. He was very comfortable in there. He didn't look a bit nervous. He looked very relaxed. I love the body work. I'm a body work guy. I love the fact that Canelo was throwing that quick left to the body, and every time Saunders back even touched the ropes, Canelo was charging in and hitting him with that right to the body. I love the uppercut. He was throwing the uppercut with his power hand. He was throwing the uppercut with his left. I love the fact that even though he seemed just a little bit flustered, he's with Billy Joe Saunders' movement, he still stayed within himself to work his game plan. Now let me get to the cons. The cons, no cons for Alvarez. I thought that Alvarez fought a good fight. Let me jump to Billy Joe. The pros would be I like the jab that Billy Joe was throwing, particularly in the early rounds. I like the fact that he kept moving to his right, staying away from Canelo's power hand. I like the fact that Billy Joe was not running. We know that Canelo is heavy-handed and he can hit hard, but Billy Joe was not running. He stayed in the pocket most of the fight. Even when he was moving, he wasn't really moving too far out, and he didn't seem afraid to get into a power fight with Canelo. Now, he was taking some of the feints, but he didn't seem afraid to kind of get into a little bit of a shootout with Alvarez. As far as the cons for Billy Joe, to me, would be the way that he was ducking down, which is really what caused him to catch that uppercut that he didn't see that closed his eye. Billy Joe was ducking down. He was almost ducking straight down into Canelo. And that's what allowed Canelo to throw those vicious uppercuts. I didn't like the fact that Billy Joe was also getting against the ropes. Now, a positive is that when he hit the ropes, he was getting off of the ropes, but I didn't like him backing into the ropes. I did like him, however, moving around the ring. Let's talk about the fight a little bit. I thought that it was a pretty good fight. I thought it was a very tactical fight. One of the guys that I was messaging with on Twitter earlier was saying that Billy Joe was about to give Canelo some fits and give him some different looks. I think he did. I do think that Billy Joe gave Canelo some different angles. I do think that his foot movement was keeping Canelo guessing a little bit. Was he going to stop? Was he going to move? I think that Billy Joe was a very worthy opponent and very worthy of that undefeated record. But we saw what happened. Those hard shots started to catch up with him. Canelo kept throwing those hard right hands, and we knew eventually something hard was going to catch Billy Joe. He catches Billy Joe. Actually, it was a left uppercut. Billy Joe ducked, like I said about a minute ago. He ducked. He didn't see it coming. He caught this left uppercut on the eye. That right eye closes. He goes to the corner. His corner stopped the fight, which I think was a good stoppage, and that was it. Look, people, the crowd was booing Billy Joe. Basically, they're upset saying that he quit. But listen, Billy Joe is a softball. The eye that was closing was his right eye. That's his eye on his lead hand side. Billy Joe was not going to be able to continue. He wouldn't be able to see. He wouldn't be able to pump that jab. And even if he moved to the right, he wouldn't see Canelo throwing that left hook. Now, if he would have went out, he probably would have got stopped the next round. Now, I'm actually surprised that this fight ended in a TKO because I had Canelo by unanimous decision, but the Billy Joe's eye closes, and pretty much, fight fans, that's the end of the fight. I did enjoy the fight. Give me your thoughts on it. Did you enjoy the fight? Did it end the way that you thought it would? Did you pick Canelo by knockout or TKO, or did you pick decision, or did you maybe pick, like Tyson Fury said, Billy Joe Saunders? Let's move on to what's going to happen from here. Canelo made it very clear that he wants Caleb Plant. I like it. I like the fact that Canelo doesn't want anybody to have a title in the super middleweight division. He wants Caleb Plant. I'm sure they're going to make that fight. I mean, who else is Caleb Plant going to fight? Canelo Alvarez? Come on, people. Canelo Alvarez is the cash cow of boxing. And right behind him will be Anthony Joshua. But in the non-heavyweight division, it's Canelo Alvarez. Any fighter from 160 to 175 would be out of his mind to not fight Canelo. It's the biggest payday you're going to get. So I believe that we're going to get Caleb Plant in September. And I believe that when September comes, Canelo's going to win again. And he will be the unified champion, undisputed at 168. And then we'll see what happens from there. Other than that, fight fans, that's pretty much all I have. Give me your thoughts on the fight. Do you want to see Caleb Plant? Do you maybe want to see Demetrius Andrade? Do you maybe want to see somebody else that I didn't even think of? Other than that, it was a pretty good fight. If you haven't, like and subscribe, hit the notification bell so we can talk boxing. Hit me up over on Twitter. I'll put that in the description. Other than that, that's all I got, y'all. Holla at you later.